Hi friends, welcome back to Parnika tutorials. In this video, I want to discuss about arrow function concept in JavaScript. So I sincerely request everyone to watch the complete video for better understanding. Arrow function is one of the feature introduced in ES6 version of JavaScript. In ES6 version only, arrow function concept was introduced. Arrow functions are a clear process of writing regular JavaScript functions in more accurate and shorter way. Already we know what is a function, how to define a function and how to call a function. Generally how we will define a function, you will use the function keyword, function name, and then you will have optional parameters and the set of statements. Whenever you call any function, the statements which are there in the function definition will be executed. So arrow functions are also functions, but their syntax is little bit different to the general functions. So the arrow functions will help you to make the program more structured and readable, because you will write the arrow functions in a simple way. If you want to define a general functions, you need to use the function name, function keyword, all these things. When it comes to the arrow functions, you can make it simple. So that's why arrow functions make program more structured and readable, and arrow functions are anonymous functions, or I can say them as lambda functions also. Now let me discuss the generalized syntax of defining any arrow function. You need to provide the let, and then you need to provide the function name to identify this function. Even I can say it is a simply an identifier, and then you will have set of optional arguments. You can provide argument 1, argument 2, argument 3, so on, and then you need to provide the arrow operator, open the curly braces, and what are the statements you want to execute, those statements you need to provide within the curly braces. So you will have the let and then function name, assignment operator, and then you will have the optional arguments, arrow operator, and the statements. Whenever you want to call this arrow function, you need to provide the function name. So if you provide the function name and what are the arguments you have provided in the arrow function definition, those things you need to provide here. Then the statements which are there in the arrow function definition will be executed. Let me discuss this one with a simple example. Let's consider that you have the regular function called fun. So you need to use the keyword called function, and then you need to provide the fun, and let's take that you are taking the a and b are the two parameters, and then you are returning a plus b. Then if you write console.log, and if you call the function called fun, and if you provide 5 and 10, then what will happen? The 5 and 10 will be stored in the variable a and variable b respectively, and whenever you write return a plus b, so 5 plus 10, it will return the 15, and that value will be displayed. So this is the way you can write the regular function. The same function if you write using the arrow function, then you need to write the let, and then you can provide the function name. So let me provide fun1, and then I can write a comma b, and then let me provide the arrow operator, and then I will simply return the value, right? So I can provide the braces, and then I can write the return keyword and a plus b, and then let me close it, and then I can call the function console.log, and then I can provide fun1. Then and fun1 you need to pass the values 5 and 10. Then a will get the value 5, b will get the value 10, and then 5 plus 10 15 will be returned, and console.log will display that 1. When you are using the arrow function, whenever you have the return keyword and only one statement is there, even you can remove the return keyword, and then you can simply write a plus b. Then also it will work. If you want to verify, let me execute this program practically so that it will be clear for you. First let me define some function fun, and it will take two arguments a comma b, and then I will return the a plus b value, and then I will call the function. So I will write console.log fun a comma b, means 5 comma 10 I will provide. Then if I execute this program, you can observe we will get the output as 15. See, we got the output as 15. Same thing we can do using the arrow function. Let me write let, and then I will provide fun1, and then I will take a comma b, and then I can provide the certain statements, return a plus b, and then here I will write console.log fun1 some 20 comma 30. Then if you observe, we'll get the output as 30. What is the issue? Fun1, oh, we forgot to provide the arrow operator. That is very important. Now let me execute this program. We got the output as 50 because 20 plus 30, 50. Let me remove the return keyword, and then you can remove this curly braces also, because when you have a single statement, that statement you can remove the curly braces. See, you got the output as 15. So as you have single statement, I have removed the curly braces. As it is a return statement only, I have removed the return keyword. So now look at here, the same function we have written using the arrow function in a single line. So that is the advantage of arrow function. Arrow function make program more structured and readable. Let's take that you does not have any parameters. You are providing the function, and then function name is fun, and simply you are printing hi. So I will write console.log, and then here I will write hi. Whenever I call the function called fun, I will get the output as hi. If you want to observe, let me execute this program. Say I got the hi. The same thing if I want to write with the help of the arrow function, then I need to write let, and then function name I will write it as fun1. As you does not have any parameters, you can remove these arguments, and then you can write here console.log hi. And now let me just call the fun1, and now you can observe we'll get the output as hi and hi. Oh, we are need to just call it, right? Again we are trying to display, as it is not returning anything, that's why you are getting undefined. We just need to call the fun1. Let me execute the program. We got the output as hi and hi. Let me provide a function with only one parameter. Let me provide a here. If I pass the value 5, I should get the a value also. Then you can observe if I execute the program, you will get hi and then 5. See, we got hi 5. The same thing if I want to do using the arrow function, as it is a single argument, you can provide a alone. You no need to have the braces. So you will have let function name and only one parameter. That parameter you can provide console.log hi, and then you can write a, and then you can provide the 10. Now let me execute the program. We got the hi 5, hi 10, because here you are passing 5, so a will have the value 5, so you are displaying hi as a string, and a value 5 will be displayed. Here a will get the value 10, and you are displaying the string hi and a which is having the value 10. So that's why you got the output as hi 5, hi 10. Let me discuss this keyword with the arrow function. If we use this keyword with the regular functions, what will happen? What are the issue we will face? And this issue, how it is resolved with the help of the arrow function also I will discuss. First, let me discuss this keyword with the regular function. Suppose let's take that I am providing one function. Let me write in the Visual Studio itself. So I will provide one function, a regular function, and the function name I will provide it as person, and then I will write here this dot name is equal to Jagadish, which is a string, a comma, and this dot age is equal to 34, comma, this dot say name is equal to function. Let me write the entire code, then I will discuss each point in detail. Then I will open the curly braces, and here I will write console.log this dot is. Here this is accessible because this refers to the current object. Okay, so the current object it will access and you can display the age. What is the age here? 34. So 34 you will get the output. Within this one I will define one function. So I will write function and the function name I will write inner fun, and then I will provide the statements in it. Here I will write console.log this dot is, and then here I will call the inner fun function, and then let me close this one, and then I will write let x is equal to new person, and then I will write x dot say name. Now look at here, let me execute this program. If I execute this program, you will get the output as 34 and undefined. Console.log this dot is will give the output as 34 for you, because this dot is inside the this dot say name is accessible. However, inner fun is a normal function. It is not an arrow function. It is a normal function, and this dot is not accessible because this refers to the global object. Okay, so that's why here you cannot access the is. That's why you are getting the output as undefined. Now with the help of the arrow function, we can rectify this one. How can I rectify? Instead of providing the normal function, I will provide here as an arrow function. This inner function is a normal function. Now I will make it as an arrow function. How can I make it as an arrow function? I will remove the function keyword, and then I will write let inner fun is equal to open the curly braces, and then you can provide the arrow operator. Remaining thing is absolutely same, because instead of providing the normal function using the function keyword and the function name, I have used the arrow function. So let inner function is equal to, as there are no arguments, I have provided the simply the parenthesis, arrow operator and the statements. Now if I execute this program, you will get the output as, look at here, we got the output as 34 and 34. Let me make it bigger one. See, we got the output as 34 and 34 because inside the arrow function, this refers to the parent scope. Parent scope means in parent, this is inner one, right? What is the parent of this one? This one. So in this one you have 34, so that 34 has been displayed. So inside the arrow function, because inner function is an arrow function, right? So in this one you are using the this keyword. So here this refers to the parent scope, hence this dot is gives the output for you as 34. Now let me discuss what are the things you should avoid with the arrow function. You should not use arrow functions to create methods inside the objects, and also you cannot use the arrow functions as a constructor. So in these two scenarios you cannot use the arrow functions. One is that you cannot use an arrow function as a constructor. You should not use arrow functions to create methods inside the objects. Let me discuss these two scenarios with an example so that it will be clear for you. Now let me discuss this one, why you should not use the arrow functions to create methods inside the objects with an example so that it will be clear for you. So let me define one object called person. So I will write let object name, and then I will open the curly braces, and then I can write name Jagadish, comma is 34, because any object will have the collection of key and values. Here name and age are the keys, Jagadish and 34 is the value. Inside that one I'm writing say name, and then I'm writing the arrow function, and then I will provide a statement called console.log this dot is. This is absolutely fine. Now for this object called person, I am trying to call the method. So if you observe here, inside the object you are creating one method called say name. For that method you are using the arrow function. that will create an issue. So you will get the output as undefined. If you want to verify, look at here, we got the output as undefined. So I said you should not use arrow functions to create methods inside the object. Here say name is a method. That method you are creating using the arrow functions, that you should not do it. You cannot use arrow functions as a construct. Let me discuss this one with an example so that it will be clear for you. Let me delete this entire code and then I will write let fun is equal to, I'm creating one arrow function without any statements, and then I'm writing let fun1 is equal to new fun. If I execute this program, you will not get any output. Instead of that one, you will get an error. What is that error you will get? You can verify. Fun is not a constructor, so you cannot use arrow function as a constructor. What is fun here? It is an arrow function that you are trying to use it as a constructor. That is not allowed. I hope you have understood all the concepts which I have discussed in this video. Like I have discussed what is an arrow function, what is the advantage of arrow function, in which scenarios you cannot use the arrow functions. All these concepts I have discussed in detail for you. If you still have any doubts, feel free to ask me in the comment section. I will try to clear your doubts as early as possible. Thank you for watching the complete video. Have a nice day.